Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. Look, big box day today. We're going to be building pack 11 of the Agora Models and Hachette Partworks release and build the alien. And believe me, if the shirt doesn't give it away, I don't know. I love my shirts. Okay, this is available to you folks over in America from Agora Models. I do believe it's still available from Hachette Partworks to you folks in the US as well. We're up to pack 11, so we've pretty much done all the legs, which I've got down here, and all the arms, and we're now working on the abdomen section. And something that I've heard, its reputation precedes it, we're starting to work on the tail, which is absolutely massive apparently, which is why I'm guessing we've got such a big box. But without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into it, so let's get cracking. And I haven't actually bought any of the old stuff up yet because I don't actually know what I need. What I do know I need is stage 77, which I've got in this pack here. Now, once again, we've got lots of this rubbery material here. We've got some inner frame by the look of it, and we have got some places for magnets, so I'm guessing we've got some magnets in here. Now in stage 76, this is the part we had, and it's quite easy to see how we're going to start this one off. We're just going to be putting these two parts together just like this. We do have the tabs that we put in last time here. They're going to be held in with these black screws here. So one screw in there, and just one in the tab at the bottom here. And then at the top here, hopefully you can see we've got space for 1, 2, 3, 4 more tabs. They're all here, so I now need to put all of those in. So that's the first one in. I'll just put the other 3 in now. I won't worry too much about them pointing in the right direction because they are still able to move slightly like that. Their job is just to piece them to the part that goes above them. But as you can see, they're all in place. Now in this stage we had this massive black section here where, as you can see on this, we have got space for these 4 tabs to go in. They're going to go in here. Once again, black screws to keep them in. Now what I'm actually doing is I'm loosening all of these screws up, and the reason I'm doing that, let's just get these other 3 really loose. Not taking them out completely, just loosening them up. The reason I'm doing that is because if you look at the edges here, this has got a flat edge, but on the edge this is going into, there's a lip here. So we need to make sure that this section fits over that lip there. And to get that to do that, obviously we need these looser. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I found just taking them out completely is the easiest way to do that. And then put them back in again. So really, it was a bit of a waste putting those in at the first place, I think. But they're going in now. And once you've got one in, you can see how that's a nice seal in there. Let me do the same for all the rest of them. So as you can see on the top camera, they're all in. Now in the last stage, we had this skin which we put the magnets in. What I'm going to do is line up these magnets this way round, again probably on the top camera, with the points that these are going to be going into the abdomen just here. Because I'm going to be sticking some magnets now on top of this section. So to do that, I have my glue here. I'm going to be dropping glue into the cavities where these magnets are going to go. Going to be a bit hard to get the one down the centre here, but having a long glue stick there made short work of that. So this is 5 magnets I'm putting in at the start. And if you just let them go slightly above where they're going, they should fire themselves in just like that. So that's 1. I'm holding them about 1 centimetre from where they need to be. 2, 3. I'll do the hardest one last. 4. Let's do the one in the middle. 5. See how that worked? Brilliant. And in a similar way, we're going to be taking this side of the abdomen. We've got magnets to go in on the side here. We haven't connected this up yet, so I'm just going to drop some glue into the 3 holes I've got on this side. 1, 2, and 1 hidden down the bottom here. 3. You do want to make sure that this recess here is going above that, like this. That will help to line up where this is going to go. And then we can just drop these magnets in. 1, 2, and then we've got a tricky one back here. 3. Turn it round and do exactly the same for the skin that's going on this side. So once again, make sure that the circular recess fits over this section there. And then it's just a case of dropping them in. Once they're in, you can just separate these just to leave everything to dry. Now we do have this section here, which is a plastic bit of the towel, I'm guessing, or I'm not sure, the spine, but we don't actually use that in this stage because that's all there is to do in this stage. So stage 78, again, all of these packs are massive, which is why we had a massive box, I'm guessing. Look at this. They're not joking, look at it. Look how big that is. Oh my God, we've got some more magnets and some tabs here. But I'm going to do the rest of the instructions at this stage slightly out of order while I'm waiting for the other bit to dry. I'm going to be taking this part of the towel and I'm going to be piecing both of these parts together. Like this. Now, they should fit nice and flush. Not the easiest thing to clip together, I have to say, but there we go. We've clipped that together. And it clips so tight that it doesn't need any screws to keep that in. But I can just put that to one side. And in this section here, I've got a couple of tabs to put in. And on this section here, they come in this pack, a couple of tabs to put in the side pieces here. So one here and one there. Again, I've got these black screws to keep these in. And that's perfect. Okay, let's bring over the skin. So we had these abdominal skin parts looking just like that we're now going to need to put together. Now, as you can see, we do have some little connecting holes around this skin. So what I need to do is put some glue around here. Going to be a bit tricky, this is. And I really do go to town on this glue, just so you know. Because it is not the easiest thing to stick together, this material. Now, normally I'd be using my Storm Shore here, but it does take a lot longer to cure, and I'm completely out of Storm Shore. So, I'm making do. Okay, so let's start getting these in. I'm trying to push together the tabs. Does really need a former to get this in, so you can't really do it on a flat surface. I'm gonna actually have my clamps helping me just to hold the end in here. Now I'm positively encouraging this to curl up at the sides, because that's going to leave this area flat here, so you do want it to curl up while we're actually getting this to cure into place. And I'm just going to hold that until I'm, I don't know, 60 years old. As you can see on the top camera though, that's a nice, neat seam I've got in there. And then on this side, I'm going to be pushing in the bit of spine that we had last time. It is going to need to be glued into place. So I'm actually going to be gluing it in, rather than putting loads of glue just on the spine here. I'm putting some into each recess here. And then I will put some just down the middle here. Okay, let's get this one in. Having that spine section in really does aid to hold this together as well. Along that seam, as you can see, I can actually take that off now. And that's looking like that. That's got in a lot easier than I thought it would. Now in this skin, on this side here, we have got some magnets to put in. This time it doesn't matter about the orientation we're putting them in. So again, I'm just going to fill up lots of glue in these recesses here. Again, I'm going to town on this glue big time. Big fat dollops of glue. Because by the time it's dried, I really don't want these going anywhere. And even if they get onto the other side of the magnets, they are going to hold them in. So let's get these in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you're wondering, those magnets are in there. Just got these 2 bits of skin at the top to join up. They're in there just to help it to apply it when we come to put them on these sections here. But there is a couple of points just at the top here that I need to get these into place. You will find actually gluing the lip just at the top there of the skin will help to keep that together. But you will have to hold it for a good 3 minutes. Now I don't have 3 minutes. So I'm putting some masking tape just to do the job for me of holding that in place. But that is all there is to do in that stage. We're still on these massive sections here. Stage 79, more tail sections. I think you can see how big this is actually going to be. Look, this, just one part here is bigger than my hand. I will show you against my head in a second. Okay, so to piece both of these parts together, I want to take this section here and push this over the top so that the lug is going all the way through that hole just there. And I'm going to be joining up with its buddy here by putting this over this side. And once again, clipping all of this into place so that all the lugs clip in. Not the easiest thing, I am aware of that, but they will go with lots of pulling and pushing. There you go. You heard that click in. That's how that's looking now. That's how big it is now. Look at that. Okay, the part that we had in the last stage where we put the tabs in, we're now going to be joining that to its partner on this stage here. And once again, black screws to keep these together. And then just like we started this pack, you can see we've got 4 holes for tabs here. These are going to be going in here. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and they are going to be screwed in. Now I'm not going to do that. I learnt my lesson last time because I've noticed that there's no lip on this side. So I think when we actually join this to this section here, that would be the best time to actually do that. So check which side's got the lip on, which is this side. So this is going to be going, see what I mean? Take these out. This is going to be going into there like that. And then would be the best time to attach these tabs. So I've got one in. Let me get some screws. And I'm screwing one tab in really tight on this side. That will make sure this is completely and utterly held together. And then it will just make your life a lot easier to do the other 3. So I'm going to do that now. Now it's a case of just taking the skin that we created last time, and I'm going to be putting this over the top, lining up where the magnets are going to go on this. So they're going to go kind of like that there. Once again, I'm going to be dropping magnets into the 6 position holes that I've got on this interior section here. So just putting glue in them for a second. Open these magnets and I'm going to drop them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I have left that just for a little while to dry. This left flank skin here is going to be going over the top of these magnets just here. So I need to get the orientation right for that. So what I'm going to do, once again, I've got 3 holes for magnets here. I'm going to be putting glue just into these holes. Very tricky this is. I know some people are doing this without the magnets. I just think it makes your life a lot easier when it comes to gluing these. Hold this to where it's going to go. Just like that. And again, drop the magnets into the position that they're going to need to be. We don't have to keep this on here, because once I've got them in where I want them, I can actually then just remove that skin, knowing that the magnets in that side are in the right way. And then I'm going to do exactly the same just on the other side here. Once again, it wants me to remove all the skin assemblies just to keep them to dry, but that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 80, the tail is getting bigger. And we have got some really large screws in this one, look. So once again, just like last time, I'm going to take this section of tail, and just like last time, I'm going to be pushing that through the bottom here, so that I can see the lugs on this side, and then I'm going to be joining it with its partner here, and this really is the tricky bit of snapping everything into place. It's not the easiest thing, but that is now how that's looking. Absolutely ginormous, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to be making a ball joint now. Now the ball joint consists of a few parts. We've got this part here first, and then we've got a bush which is going to go into it, which is going to provide resistance when this turns. So I want to make sure that the tabs on the back here go all the way through that section like that. The ball joint's then going to be going in the middle, just like this. On the other side, once again, we're going to be taking one of these bushes and putting that in, making sure that the tabs again go all the way through. There we go, completely through. There should be a little lip, if you can see there. Excellent. This one's going to be going on this side here. And then I want to use these nuts and bolts here to get this into place. Now, if you want to know about orientation, one side has got a space for a nut to fit in, so you can actually just put the nut in first, so it fits in flat there like that, which means the screw is going to be going in from this side over here. So when we do put these in, we do want this to be tight but not over tight, so I'm just going to get the last one in here that goes in the top. Because we do want some movement in this joint here. As you can see, that's quite tough. We might end up having to tighten that up, believe it or not. But I'm going to leave it like that for now. It is quite tight, but don't do it too tight so it won't move. But there you go, that's in place. Now bringing over this section just here, we're going to be mounting this ball joint into place. It's actually going to go onto these sections just like that there. I'm holding them in with the black screws. Now we need 4 of these. So I've basically had to gauge the tightness of that ball joint because I'm not going to get a chance to be able to adjust it afterwards. So it is tight. There we go, that's in place. I'm just checking, yep, I'm happy with the tightness of that. But with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 81, get this out, more bits of the tail, and the dorsal growths. I like that word, the dorsal growths. Get them out. So once again, bring over the tail. Going to be adding some parts, namely this one here. Again, going through the bottom. Make sure I've lined that up correctly. And then just pin its partner to the other side. Really is so hard to clip them in, but there we go. That's how that's looking. It's massive. And you are going to absolutely love the next stage. So much so, I'm having to make space. Because I need both legs. Now obviously we made these in previous stages. And they're big. Okay. So by the look of it, the way these go is I'm going to be putting a rubber grommet over the top of this section. Then I'm going to be putting on this section here. I'm trying to figure out which way round it goes. It looks like they've got it this way round. Then another grommet on this side here. And I'm going to insert this into that section like that. So now that's one piece there. Now I need to bolt this together. So I'll be putting this bolt through there like that. It's going to be very tricky. Grabbing my screwdriver and trying to align with the nut that I've just put on the other side here. And probably best on the top camera. I have got that connected. I do want to make sure that's really tight. I can't get that any tighter. But there we go. The two legs are now attached together. Now I want to take this section here, which was the one which we put the ball joint in, and that's going to be going underneath this section, like that. That's held in with 4 of the black screws. So I'm just putting them in really loose at the moment, just to ensure that this section's lined up. And then I will tighten these completely up. And there we go, that's nice and tight in place. Wow. Then I'm going to take this top piece here. This is going to be going over here like this. And again, I'm going to turn these over and start connecting these into place. Now, the first ones are going to go in the top here. Get them tight. So that's one. And one just on this side over here. Then I've got these 2 holes at the bottom. You really do need a long screwdriver for this. And then finally, just one through this section here. And that's so big, I'm just going to put that on the floor. I said I'm going to put it on the floor. Let me just leave it standing there. Okay, we've now come to the time where I'm going to need to secure these 2 parts of skin here together. So you know the trouble that I normally have with gluing these and how much time it takes. So I am just going to put these in, this one this side, and then obviously this one here, whoops, is going on the other side just there. You know what, I've just restarted my cameras because I've just found this brilliant technique of getting some masking tape and putting it onto the side that I'm going to be putting the glue on, like this. This is a great idea. Just like that. It really does help to hold this in when it's gluing. So all I'm doing is then just putting glue on this edge and then putting them together. I can just get these into position. It's like having 10 pairs of hands just to help you out hold this in. Now while that's drying, I can be getting on with another part here. And that's basically these 2 sections here, which I'm going to be piecing together. They're actually going to go like this. And we have got some tabs in the middle to put in. So let's get them in. 1 and 2. And I'm holding them together with these black screws. So now that's that. Now the only thing I need to do is to take this part here and the back section and put this over this section. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that all the way to the end. So that's still part of this stage. I'm going to do it at the end because I just want to give this time to dry. And I am recording this live. So I'm very conscious of starting to do something and then just split apart because I haven't gave time for the glue to dry. So I'm going to move straight on to the next stage. So in stage 82, we're continuing the tail and the dorsal growths. Put them to one side and once again bring over this ginormous tail, which I'm starting to run out of space. Okay. I'm going to be putting in, once again, this side here. They are easier to manage now they're getting smaller. And once again, taking this side and clipping this over the top. Will I need to glue some of these areas here? You see how it's coming apart? Probably. But the clips inside aren't really enough to hold it. I'll do that afterwards though. But at the moment, the towel is now looking a lot bigger. I'm going to be taking these 2 parts of the dorsal, what do they call them? Dorsal growth? Something like that. They're going to go in here just like last time. And we do have tabs to connect these together. See, once we've got one in, it's easy to do the second one. I'm now at a stage where I can take both parts of what we created here and pin these together. Just get them to perfectly line up. Takes some clicking. I do have trouble just piecing together bits like this. They are clipped together, but we are going to be putting some screws in as well. And that's just into these 2 larger holes here to hold these in. So one this side and one this side here. And then this bit of ribbing here is going to go into this space here, and it is going to be glued in. So again, I don't really cake this in glue. What I do is I put some choice spots here, but most of the glue is just going into these holes which are holding it there. And then it's a case of just pushing this into place. Just hold it for a second, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, the penultimate stage, stage 83. Just separating some stuff out because, once again, we need bits of the tail. And just like last time, again, putting this underneath to line everything up. And then clipping over the top part here and snapping that together. So now, that looks like that. Look how big this thing is. Oh my God. Bringing over this dorsal section again. And once again, we do have a part that we're going to be gluing into that position there. So again, I'm going to put some glue all around this to get this into space. Just hold that for a second. And then while that's gluing in, once again, some glue around here. Because I do have another section to put in, which is just going into there like that. Going to hold that for a second. Put that to one side. And I'm now going to be piecing these two parts together. And again, similar to what we did last time, just like this with two tabs. That's one in, just put one in this side here. And that's two in. So we've created them, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage of this pack, very similar to what we've just done. Once again, I'm bringing the tail section up. To say how much is here, the tail section is actually quite light. But you know what I'm doing. I'm just going to put these in, which is pretty impossible to film now because it's so big. Once again, I'll show you how that looks. Looks like the video sleeve, doesn't it, for Alien 3? Pretty cool. I want to bring over the half that we created in the last stage of this dorsal section. And once again, plague this side with glue, especially in these holes here. Because this section here is just going into that section there, like that. Once again, two parts to piece together with a tab and two screws in each one to keep this together. So now they're clipped in. When we're happy how that is, we're just going to be clipping both of these parts together. That's gone together a lot easier that time. And then I am going to be screwing this just like last time with two screws just into these larger holes here. So one there and one there. And that's the end of that stage. That's the end of that pack. We're not finished though, because we're going to revisit now stage 81 and put the skin on the abdomen. So we've obviously created this top section now. So the way this is going to go is this fits over here like that. Okay? But what I'm going to do now is lie this down, because I'm now working on this section and I'm going to be starting to glue the seams on each side here. Now I will be helping myself with some masking tape again. But the brush makes this really neat to actually apply this glue. And I'm only doing one side at the moment, and then we're going to let that set. So I'm doing little bits at a time, as you can see, and then making sure the masking tape's over the top just to hold them together. It does free up your hands to do this top bit here. Perfect. I've actually restarted the cameras because I can't see any reason why that masking tape is holding on that side, I can't just get on with this straight away. So I am taking a risk. And if I make a mistake, well, you know the adage on the channel. I'll make mistakes so you don't have to. But I'm sure this is going to work. I'm pretty confident. Get some masking tape ready. This time I'm going to get the top in, I think, first. I'm happy with the fit just on these two sections here. Now I'm going to work my way down. All the way to the end. Like that. And I'm going to let that set. And you know what? I was racking my brain the best way to do the thumbnail for this. It's going to have to be like this. It's the only way I can show how big this thing actually is. But there you go. That is up to pack 11. Now there's only 2 more packs, 12 and 13. 13 is the last pack. Actually 100 stages in this build. It's looking pretty amazing, isn't it? The only thing we haven't done at the moment is we haven't got a section that connects this here underneath the gusset area, if you like. You brew words on a Tuesday. But it is looking pretty cool. And the gluing went a lot easier than it is to do the arms and the legs this time. But once again, if you do want to get this for yourself, there is a link in the video description. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please click that subscribe button. Other than that, take care.